Don't worry about that stuff.
It's not going to fit, Matt.
That's not going to fit. This is going to be an epic disaster in a minute. We
And,
should definitely not move this
and
train.
frankly, this isn't perhaps the best video to show off exactly what the game is capable of, is it?
No, it really isn't.
And we're about to break immersion quite significantly, aren't we?
Absolutely, yeah. This is where you see the nasty underside of the game world. But it's really about saying that we're not going to stop you doing it just because it might not look great. We'll let you you choose your experience.
I've had a good one from Tintin in the comments. Do you still get AP for doing this?
I actually don't know.
Oh, okay. Right, put that one on your find out the answer list. Hugh just asked, why spend so much time creating unrealistic stuff? How much time did it take to just allow stuff to run anywhere?
Not really any time at all, to be honest. It takes more time to limit it than to allow everything to run everywhere. So it's a case that, do we just leave in the option for people to do what they like? Or do we spend time taking it away? And actually, I think people want, players that I've spoken to actually want more freedom to just do what they want. And I think that.
So what you've just witnessed was the so-called off-the-rails mode, which will be an option in Transmitter 2 to override the rules of the game, so you'll be able to drive whatever you want, wherever you want. The game will just really don't care. You can drive trains from the London Underground on tracks where you'll never see a third rail in your life. Same thing goes for the ICE3M, no overhead line, no problem. But don't worry, this mode isn't enabled on default. And for those of you who want a realistic experience, Dovetail Games has you more than covered. With Transmitter 2, they will add new mechanisms like variable adhesion, which will even calculate the heat of the real rims, which will cause the spread of sparkles when they get too hot. But let's get back to the clip here. After I explain how the mode is called and what it does, I want to talk about how you're able to use that mode in detail, which will basically be a tutorial of the new scenario planner. So first of all, you need to create a scenario by giving it a name so you can remember it more easily in the future, since you can create 30 custom scenarios per route. The second step is going to be the part where you can select the start and end point of your scenario. And before you think the scenario planner is just a quick drive option from Train Simulator, let me tell you that unlike the quick drive, we will be able to add stops on the route later at step 4. But before we get there, we are going to choose the train we want to drive in the scenario. So without the mode of the rails we already talked about, we can choose between the ICE3M and the Talon 2, which build the 2 trains included in the route Schnellfahrtstrecke Köln-Aachen. But when you turn the mode of the rails on, you are going to be able to drive trains from the London Underground there, as well as trains from Sandpatch Grade. And you could even drive more German trains from other routes there, but I will talk about that at the end of the video. Oh, and please don't forget to tick the passenger service checkbox in case you want to pick up passengers at the stations instead of just having to stop at a platform for no reason. Alright, you almost made it to the end. Last thing you need to do is to set up the train you are going to drive, is to select the stations you want to stop at. You can simply do that by ticking the boxes next to the stations. It's that easy. So after you created your player service, you can add AI trains so you won't feel so lonely on your journey. AI trains can be implemented in the same way as you added your player service as I just explained. So as I said earlier that you are able to drive way more trains than just the Talon 2 and the IC3M in my latest video, I want to talk about the Preserve collection again, because some of you seem to still have some questions. So the Preserve collection is basically a backward compatibility feature for DLCs from Trains in World 2020, which will mean you get all routes you previously owned in Trains in World 2020 for Trains in World 2 for free. But since Trains in World 2020 has a total of 15 routes and 13 locals as DLCs, the amount of effort in implementing these DLCs is so high that Dovetail Games won't be able to finish it all at the release date of Trains in World 2. So Dovetail Games came up with the idea of simply splitting the DLCs into smaller packages so they can release all DLCs part after part after Transient World 2 gets released. So Preserve Collection 1 is going to be the first package of DLCs Dovetail Games is going to implement into the new game, which will be published at the same day as Transient World 2 is getting released. Included in the package will be the East Coastway, the Peninsular Corridor, the Baby Bullet, the Caltrain MP15DC and the Hauptstrecke Rhein-Ruhr. And since the DBBR425 and the 422 are part of the Hauptstrecke Rhein-Ruhr, you can use them in the scenario planner even without turning off the rails on. This means that you can drive all trains and all routes you bought in Transient World 2020 and Transient World 2 as they are getting released in the Preserve collection. Well, that's it again with this video. Are you excited about the release of Transient World 2? And what are you doing until it's getting released? Let me know in the comments. And for further information about Transient World 2, you can join my Discord server where I will be answering all your questions about Transient World 2 as well as keeping you up to date with the latest screenshots, news articles and trailers. Oh, and please be sure to set your language in #languages by clicking the flag of your country so you can talk with other people in your language without confusing others. Now that's really it guys, I hope you enjoyed my video, see you in the next one, bye!